We bop and hippity hop. I'm as happy as I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. Love is sweet, love is man, works one. We bop and hippity hop. I'll never be a millionaire. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. I don't care.
What the f am I trying to say? Johnny! What are you doing? We're waiting for you to sit down and be quiet. Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time. And that's mainly just because mine and Johnny's life has just been so crazy recently. We've just been so busy and really been trying to spend a lot more time with each other away from the videos and stuff. So we decided to take a brief hiatus, but we're back. It's been about a month, probably a month. But February is a short one, so it's not too bad. But now, what I wanted to post was a quick reading update thing. There's so many videos I need to make, like a book haul, a TBR for March, and a few book reviews. But I don't want to do all that right now. So I just decided to combine it all into one because there aren't a lot of each of those things, but together it's like a whole video. First, I want to talk about the books that I read last month. To start things off, I have Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. If you are unfamiliar with Of Mice and Men, it is about two men looking for work in California during the Great Depression, and they strike up a very unlikely friendship, and they just take care of each other. And where one lacks, the other one makes up. And they get to this ranch where they're going to be working for this entire story. And some things go down, and it's very tragic and very heartbreaking, but ultimately enlightening and very poignant. It just reveals so much about the 1930s and the Great Depression and what was really going on. Especially with like the drought that was going on in the Midwest and having to move to California in search of work and like food, and not having enough jobs, and people were getting paid like very, very little to work, and they couldn't even support their families, and it was so hard. I reread this recently with my Honors English 3 class, and if I'm being completely honest, I didn't really enjoy it as much as I did. There were maybe 2 of them that really liked it, but most of them just kind of thought it was boring, which it is a very, very short book, a little over 100 pages, but there's just so much jam-packed into here. And to be honest, I liked it better the first time around. The second time, I agree, it is kind of just like dull. I enjoyed this better reading it the first time around than I did rereading it, because it is kind of depressing, and it's a lot to take in, but very good. Still enjoyed it. Would probably give it 3.5 out of 5 stars if I'm being completely honest about it. But yeah, I think it's an important read and everyone should read it. And again, it's super short, so super easy to do. Next, I finally finished What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. What If It's Us is about 2 young boys who fall in love over a summer, and they meet, but then don't get each other's information, so they've got to find ways to find each other and then date each other, and then dealing with the fact that they only have a few weeks with each other before Arthur moves back to Georgia. It was so cute. I really enjoyed it. I heard that many people were not fans of the ending, but I just thought it was really cute and promising as well. I thought this book was very well done. I have only ever read a few books where 2 or more authors worked on it, and all of those I ended up disliking. But this one I thought was done very, very well, and I just love it. I would probably give it 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I am really excited about it, and they're making a movie of it soon, so that's very good. I will probably be doing a full review of this on my channel sometime, because it was just so much good stuff in here. I loved it. It was funny, incredibly sweet. very much just like a rom-com with two gay teenagers, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it touched briefly on some very important issues such as homophobia and PDA in the LGBTQ plus community, and coming out to your family and friends and how things change when you do that. And it was very, very well done. And I loved it. So I can't wait to read more from Adam Silvera and Becky Alvarez. Next, I'm going to move on to the books that I'm currently reading. So first, this is another book I'm reading with my English 3 class, rereading, I should say, Othello. Othello is our main character of this story, and he is a black man who lives in Venice, and he is the most powerful general of that time, and he is very well respected, but he falls in love with a white woman named Desdemona, and then some things ensue there, but he also appoints his best friend to his right hand rather than the person who was deserving of it. And so that person, named Iago, who was deserving of that spot, then decides to take revenge on Othello by messing with his relationship with Desdemona, his white wife. And a lot of betrayal and backstabbing goes on in this play, and it's just so intriguing. And Iago is probably one of my favorite villains of all time. Like, just the power he has to convince people and manipulate people is just unmatched. And as much as I hate Iago, I have to love him for the character that he represents in this story. So this is definitely the third time I have read Othello, and I just feel like it gets better and better every time I read it. It's my second favorite Shakespeare play, and only second to The Taming of the Shrew. And this one is a very, very close second. So I am currently reading The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. I just hauled this in February, and it was the book right after I finished What If It's Us. I was like, gotta read this one now. I am currently actually exactly 100 pages through the novel, and so far it is kind of slow moving, which I don't mind, as long as the build is worth it. So I will let you all know. But this is just about a woman who has agoraphobia and lives alone, but she spies on her neighbors through her window using her camera. And it is described by the author as a modern day retelling of Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock, which is one of Alfred Hitchcock's movies that I actually really loved, and it has like a perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes, like 100%, and I think it is brilliant as well. That movie has also inspired other works of fiction, such as Disturbia, that starred Shia LaBeouf in the early to mid 2000s, I believe. And so this is another one of those modern day retellings. I'm hoping that there's a different spin on it than the movie, because I don't want it to be exactly the same. But so far what I'm reading, I really thoroughly enjoy. And I am wanting to get to know more of what's happening. Like, there's definitely some mystery there that I'm wanting cleared up. And I'm just taking my time through it, because why not? Like, I really want to enjoy this one because I've heard amazing things about it. So, The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. Now, I'm moving on to the books I'm going to be hauling in this video. The first one I actually got with the other books that I hauled last month. But I think I forgot to haul it. But this is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I've heard a lot of great, amazing things about this book on BookTube. I don't know too much, but what I do know is that it's about Evelyn Hugo, who was an actress in the 50s and continued to be in the spotlight for years to come. But she never really had interviews with other people, and she was very aloof. And finally, she decided to get a reporter named Monique Grant to tell her story. And so she sits down with Monique and starts recounting her life. And this book is the account of her life. And from what I hear, there are some amazing aspects of it, and that it feels so real, which I would love, because it seems just like a reality TV moment, and I love me some reality TV. But I've heard things about this character being possibly bisexual or pansexual, and I'm very interested in reading more about it. Next, we have Homo Interns, How Gay Culture Liberated the Modern World by Gregory Woods. And this is just kind of a compilation, almost like a textbook, of a lot of different information gathered from different sources about the power of the LGBTQ plus community and how gay culture has affected our world today, which we already know with things like drag or voguing or, I mean, even slang words like shade and all this different stuff, like sparked by LGBTQ plus people and carried on by the mainstream today. So I wanted to research a bit more. I've been getting into reading a lot of LGBTQ plus literature, whether that be nonfiction or fiction, because I just like the representation of it, and I like being able to learn more. I think this is definitely becoming a huge passion of mine, obviously, but for different reasons. More so knowing and learning the history behind where I stand today as a out cisgender gay man. And yeah, I love it. Next, we have one I literally just bought 2 days ago, question mark? Yeah, 2 days ago on Saturday. The Immortalis by Chloe Benjamin. This book takes place in New York in 1969 and is about a psychic who can tell anyone the day that they will die. So there are these 4 adolescents, I don't know if they're kids or teenagers, these 4 youngsters go to the psychic to find out what day they are going to die. And it follows these characters through their lives and to the points where I assume where they die. From what the back of the book says right here, it says, the prophecies inform their next 5 decades. Golden boy Simon escapes to the West Coast, searching for love in 80s San Francisco. Dreamy Clara becomes a Las Vegas magician, obsessed with blurring reality and fantasy. Eldest son Daniel struggles to maintain security as an army doctor post 9/11. And bookish Varia throws herself into longevity research, where she tests the boundaries between science and immortality. So I just thought it sounded so amazing. I've heard a lot of hype on this one as well. Mainly from Goodreads though, not so much from BookTube. But yeah, on Goodreads I saw a lot of rave reviews, and I just think that it sounded so mystical and creative and interesting, and I want to know more. Like, I really do. So I really think this might be the next book I pick up after The Woman in the Window, if I'm being completely honest. Well, actually, it needs to be Scythe, because one of my coworkers wants me to read Scythe by Neil Shusterman, which I hauled in the last video. But after Scythe, it'll be The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. Last but not least, I have 4 more books that all go into the same series, and that is the Throne of Glass series, books 1, 2, 3, and I guess this is 0.5. I have read, I've read The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, and Empire of Storms. I have not yet read The Tower of Dawn or Kingdom of Ash, but I plan on doing so very soon because I adore this series. I've been reading it since I was a freshman in college. Actually, I was listening to the audiobooks the summer before my freshman year in college. And it's just so good. I just love these so much. So those first 4 books are starting with 0.5, which are the novellas that go before Throne of Glass. We have The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Heir of Fire. But the Throne of Glass series is about this woman named Selena Saradathian, who is an assassin, a very, very incredible assassin, who is sought out by the prince of this kingdom to become the king's champion, which will thereby grant her freedom. A lot of madness ensues. This book in particular has a competition where Selena is fighting to become the king's champion, and a lot of crazy shit goes down in this book, and it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier with each book, and I love them. And it's crazy to see how far they've come just from this book, like thinking back on where Empire of Storms left off, like, it's crazy to think that it all spawned from this one book. Don't get me wrong, this book was amazing. I still love this book, but it's just crazy to think that a book like Empire of Storm like came from this. Like, it just doesn't, like, I can't fathom it. But yes, this series is amazing. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I just bought the physical edition because I have had them all on my Kindle, which I currently have. I own all of them on my Kindle. But I saw these at a used bookstore for like $3 a piece, so I had to buy all 4 of them. And I plan on getting the rest in these paperback editions as well because I want them on my shelf because they're one of my favorites. So I need to do that. Anyway, that is the end of my book update video. I hope you enjoyed it. Jonathan and I are also going to be filming the first chapter challenge, I believe is what it's called, where we read the first chapter of several books and just see which one we like the best. And I'm really excited about that because he hardly ever reads for fun, but it's something that he's expressed interest in. So I think this will be like one of those first steps of like, okay, you like the first chapter, so maybe continue on, like see where it goes. So I'm excited about that. But I also plan on making a top 10 of February video. And as for other videos coming soon, I plan on making them. I just don't know what they are going to be right now. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you love all of our videos, feel free to subscribe. Right now we are 50 strong, which is awesome. I would just love to have more and more people subscribing and watching our videos because I think that is so cool and crazy that people are watching our videos. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are notified every time we post a new video. I will see you all next time. Goodbye. But really, Jonathan? Really, Johnny? Y'all hear that? I'm just gonna wait for it to stop. Also, like, look at this spot on my neck. I had my tie, or my shirt buttoned and the tie on earlier, and it just like choked me right there. I got a red spot. Not cute. Not cute at all. I enjoyed this better. Ow. Jonathan and I are also going to be filming the first chapter challenge, I think. Jonathan and I are also going to be... That was a lot.